Good morning. Good to
as
see
always.
you.
So, the primary criticism, before we get to the specifics, is the system's corrupt. People don't like how it is. They need a change agent. How can Donald Trump be the change agent when he so actively engages in what is the problem?
I think it's very, very simple. He's the only candidate in this race that isn't completely controlled by the donor class. Hillary Clinton is controlled by the Washington to Wall Street axis of power. She has been since the day she stepped foot in Washington, and she's proved that time and time again. Donald Trump can actually come in and shake things up. He's not beholden to the donor class in the way that Hillary Clinton is. He's the only person in this race that can do that can come in and really change the way that Washington works.
But he's also the only person that we have in the race with proof of someone who has abused the system for their own gain. I mean, where do you get confidence that he'll do it the right way when the only record we have is of him doing it the wrong way?
I don't think it's fair to say he's done it the wrong way. I think he's done it by the way that the rules have been set by Washington, by people that are corrupt like Hillary Clinton. They've set this kind of process up of the way that Washington works. If you want to, as a business person, as a private citizen, get access, you have to be a donor. Donald Trump was a businessman, and that's why, he was part of that process. But as president, knowing how that system works, knowing how corrupt it is, and not being beholden to the donor class, he can actually come in and change the way that Washington works. And he's the only person that can do that. And it absolutely has to happen.
But knowing the system is different than abusing the system, right? It makes you go from cop to criminal in a metaphorical complex. Now, you and I
think it's
understand.
pretty unfair to call Donald Trump criminal here.
Look.
If anybody's going to be a criminal in this race, it's absolutely Hillary Clinton. Somebody who actually broke
nobody
the
is
law.
a proven criminal. And if we talk about breaking the law, put up the New York Times reporting. This, again.
Because they're such a credible source.
Well,
yes,
look,
please,
all right, fine.
The New York Times.
All they did was go through the record of different things that have happened that have been recorded as fact. He used the 18 subsidiary companies back in the 80s. I'll give you that as a loophole, because each of the different buildings was found in New York to be able to have its own pocket when it came to politics. So he did that. They didn't like it within the election laws. They went after him. He was then fined several different times for circumventing the laws. This Bondi thing, the IRS caught his charity doing a donation.
Actually, they self-reported, so it wasn't that the IRS caught. Donald Trump's organization self-reported and paid every penny back and corrected that mistake.
Well, there was a correction to the record. Once the IRS flagged it and fined it, they corrected it. So he has paid fines for these things more than once. So it's not just using the system as a businessman, right? It's abusing the system. Isn't that a fair reckoning?
There's nothing absurd. There's nothing wrong with a Republican giving money to another Republican. What is wrong
or to a
is
Democrat.
a Secretary of State taking money from a foreign government. That's corruption. That's pay to play. That's a problem. That's what disqualifies Hillary Clinton. What Donald Trump was give money as a private citizen to somebody he's known for years, somebody he supports as a candidate, and frankly, it's been a great attorney general for the type of activity that Donald Trump is in versus the type of thing that Hillary Clinton has done is completely absurd. What she's done has disqualified her from being president.
Which of the two has been found to have broken the law when it comes to pay for play?
Well, I think Hillary Clinton has certainly broken the law.
Which one has been found to have broken the law? Look, I get the argument you want to make about what's wrong with Clinton. You can do that. But don't you have to own what Trump has done? He has been fined and caught more than once for breaking the rules. Don't you have to own that?
I would say that the situation with Pam Bondi was a clerical mistake. They self-reported. They corrected immediately. And Donald Trump paid that full price back, every single penny.
And the timing of the Attorney General contacting Trump, asking for a donation, then saying she's considering looking at Trump University, getting a donation, then not going after Trump University.
I don't think she ever said she was considering looking at Trump University. In fact, Democrat attorney generals from multiple other
states said that the
states
office was
also
looking at it, and they got it from the office. If Hillary Clinton did
a
something
lower
like that,
level staffer,
what would you
which
say?
also admitted they never sent it up to Pam Bondi, so it never made it to her desk.
Boy, when that was said about Hillary Clinton, with reference to what was going on with security measures in Benghazi, Donald Trump laughed it out of hand as a suggestion and said, how could you not know what's going on in your office if you're the boss? But now when it comes to Pam Bondi, that rationale is perfectly acceptable to you.
I think those are pretty big differences. a very minor where you have one complaint filed in a state where they receive thousands upon thousands of complaints every day versus a national security measure.
In Florida about Donald Trump.
At the time that Pam Bondi was in office, they only received one complaint the entire time that she was in office. There were other complaints filed prior to her taking office, but from the day she took it on, there was one complaint.
So there were other complaints there to look at. Look, and I'm not saying that there's proof that he did this for. I'm just saying it doesn't look good. And that is the measuring stick for what you're doing with Clinton. There's no smoking gun. There's no proof of pay for play, but certain things don't look good. Taking a hammer to a BlackBerry doesn't look good. It's not illegal, according to the FBI, but that doesn't mean it's right. And so I'm asking, where is Trump's high ground here?
I think there's a very big difference. Again, I go back to try to compare a Republican giving money to a fellow Republican